Hey guys, Thatnub here. Sometimes I get the question about what I use to shoot and edit my videos. I recently got that question from someone who is starting up a YouTube channel, so I thought I would put this little quick video together showing you what I use to do the thing I do. This is the camera that I use for my main camera. It is the Sony HDR CX-330. And there's a couple things about this that I like. First off, we have our viewfinder that can be flipped so I can see what I am shooting. I can put it to the side as well so I can look at it that way. I can use this at really any different angle that I want to, so I can shoot high or low depending on what's going on where. I like this one because it has right here our audio in and headphone out, and up here it has a hot shoe. The thing I don't like about this, and the reason why I never use it, is because this doesn't work with anything other than what's designed to work with this hot shoe. It won't work with other things like a Rode microphone or something unless I get an adapter for it. So I really don't use this at all, but it's there just in case I need to. I like that I can charge it here with one of these, well, I'm using it right now, charging wall outlet, and I can also use this to charge the battery, which is what I do when I am on like a tour video shoot. I will take this and I can plug it into, say, a battery bank when I'm out on the road and charge my camera without having to have a wall outlet. Pretty cool. You can also send and receive the information with this into the computer directly, or I can pull out my SD card and put that into the computer. I run ScanDisk Ultra Plus 128 gigabytes. In all of the shooting that I've done, I've never come close to filling one of these, so it's got plenty of room. The other thing I like about this, whoopsie, I need to open, is the Sony's. If you can see this, see the lens there floating around? This has a crazy good image stabilization. I have a mild form of Tourette syndrome, which makes me just kind of like jerking stuff. My hand, my arms, and so when I'm freehanding this and not having it on a tripod, that keeps my shot steady, and I love that. This ring here can use some of these filters. So in here we have like a UV filter, there's a polarization filter, and I want to say a fluorescent filter for like the lighting and stuff indoors. I don't really use these that often, maybe the UV one, but then it kind of changes the picture of this camera from my other cameras, and then you can see definitely which camera I'm using, so I don't really use it that often. The mount or the tripod that I use, this one here gets pretty tall. I'm 6'3", 6'4", depending on what bank I'm leaving. I think this goes up to like 75 inches. It's got the clippies here instead of the twisty ones. I like them better. They hold more secure. And I like on this one that it's got this little hook here, and so I can hang something from this and it will give it more stability on the tripod if it's like a windy day or something like that. So this is my main tripod that I use, and now that I've shown you those things, I can switch to this camera and that tripod and show you the rest. This one here is my second camera. This is a Sony HDR CX-330. Has a lot of the same features as the other one, except this isn't touchscreen like my main camera is. I have to use this little button here for the menu, but the menu is pretty much the same. It does not have a slot here for the headphone in or out, the microphone out, and still charges that way, still charges this way, still data transfers that way. No hot shoe on the top. It doesn't have the same kind of lens that my 675 does, but it still has a crazy good image stabilization. All of the Sony cameras that I have do, and that's why I've chosen Sony for all these years. These all use the exact same batteries, so I can just swap between each one for whatever camera I have. And you can see on here I've even written down how long that this battery will last recording straight for 2 hours and 51 minutes. This one here is 2 hours and 10 minutes. This one here is what, I don't know, I can't even, oh, there we go, 3 hours and 5 minutes. Not all batteries are made the same, or some of them I just use a lot more, some I've had longer, but I always get extras of these batteries, and I have a bunch in my camera bag, so they will all work in any of these cameras here that I use the most. My third camera is this Sony HDR CX-240. These things are really inexpensive on the Amazons. I'm kind of beating this one up here a little bit for the tripod mount, because I use a kind of a different mount when I use this one. Same thing as the last one. There we go. With the menus, so all of my menus are pretty much the same, and again, no audio in or out. I use the same SD cards in all of these. This one uses a different battery. It uses, whoops, well, I'll just use that one. It uses one like this. I have two of them. I keep an extra one in there, so I always have a backup, and I can still charge this on the go if I want to. And that, I believe, is the only way I can charge this one, is through there. But I do have a separate battery charger for these batteries and for this battery, so I can put them directly into the wall, so I can have multiple batteries charging at the same time. This has a pretty good image stabilization as well. It doesn't have the free floating, but it does a good job. This camera here is a Sony DCR-SX85, and I do not like this camera at all. This is a camera that I'll use if I need to get some, maybe like some B-roll shots or something like that. But this camera, even though it's supposed to be a little bit more high speed, if I had a good battery in it, maybe. Let's try swapping that battery out. There it goes. It has a little bit different kind of a lens here. You can see it kind of zoomed in there. It does have touchscreen and no audio in or out. And this one takes an SD card in the back here. So I take one of these SD cards, put a micro SD card in there, and slide it in. So it's a little bit more of a pain in the butt. It will still take the same battery. It will still charge with the USB charger here. Yeah. But this one here gives me, I don't know, I can tell that it's this camera when I'm doing editing. I used to not be able to so much, but I got a new software for editing, and I had to redo my last video that I put up of a tour because I edited with the new program, and I did not like the shots this camera gave me. So I don't use it really at all anymore. It's kind of sad because I used to like having 4 cameras running, which is probably why I've been thinking about getting another camera, a new super cool high-speed camera that would replace this one. And I believe that I'm kind of landing on the Canon M50 Mark II or Mark II. That's the first kind of mirrorless or DSLR camera that I have ever tried. It's not a Sony, but it supposedly has pretty good image stabilization, and it can get some of those night shots of the stars and galaxies and stuff like that that baby girl really wants to start learning how to do. So we are going to start doing that. And with the Amazon Prime Days coming up here, I think in June, I might pick that up before we go on our camping trip on Father's Day. If I am doing any kind of underwater stuff, I've only done a couple shots underwater before that I've used for actual videos. But if I am, these are the cameras that I will use for that. They are basic, cheap cameras, but they are in an airtight, let's pop it up here. These are airtight little cases, kind of like GoPros, but not as cool. I think they'll both run 4K. Charge them up. They like to go off on their own, but like when I go to a water park, I'll take these with me. When I go float the river, I'll take them with me. When I just go out and, I don't know, swim around or something like that, I'll take them with me. If I go out fishing, I will take them with me because they might get into the water. And I will usually tie a bobber for fishing and some fishing line to these. And then that way, if I drop them somewhere and they get kind of floating around, I can see that bobber and go get the bobber and pull them back out. This here is the bar that I will use with this camera a lot. And so I will screw in the camera onto this side here. And then, well, let's just do it anyway and show you. And that's how I broke that little bit of the camera, because I torque it down way too much. And then I will screw on this, which is one of my Zoom audio recorders. I think this is the H5. This is, whoopsie. Put you back on there. This is the first one that I got, and it is way too powerful and too big for what I was trying to do with it. But I'm still glad that I have it. So I will put this on a tripod like that and have this giving some just kind of overall audio. And if my main mic kind of dies, hopefully this one's close enough and it can pick up any of the sounds that I needed to pick up. And I just stick that right there on the tripod like that. But the microphone that I use for doing audio, like when I'm miking somebody up, is this one. This is the Zoom H1. And this one is basic. Yeah, basic. But I can do a line in and a line out. And I like that it's nice and small. I can plug in power here and have, say, like something like this, powering it. And then I have all the power that I need to. I have never come close to running out of room on these cards for my audio. And like when I now, well, not anymore, but the last couple times I shot like those Christmas videos with baby girl sneaking around, this is only a 32 gigabyte card too. I've put both of these two microphones out in the living room so I could try to overhear her talking to her presents or reading her book or something like that. These are pretty cool. So I take that, and this lavalier mic, which is, I don't know, is pretty basic. It was like maybe 10, 20 bucks on the Amazons. I don't remember what it is anymore. And I will plug this into here. I will turn it on. I will hit record. And then I'll plug headphones into here. And I'll kind of get a test. I'll take this little guy here off. Come on. Stick it on here. Run this through whoever's shirt. Stick this in a back pocket, stick this in a different back pocket, and I can plug in the headphones here, make sure it sounds good, unplug the headphones, and now I'm recording audio on here. Also recording audio on all the cameras and my other microphone for just in cases, but this is the main mic, especially when I am doing interviews or tour kind of videos. Inside the office, I have the Sansi light. I think it's supposed to be a grow light, but I use it for overhead light for videos. And I can turn it up, and I can change the colors if I want to, which I really never do. I just leave it on white, and that gives me light onto my desk. If I am out and about doing like an interview indoors, I will use a couple of these, and they just take some AA batteries, and they don't last all that long on their brightness. If I need to, I can use some of these filters to soften the light or to give it a different color or something like that for the background. I don't really use these all too often. Maybe if I'm like at Paul's house and the lighting's bad and we're inside and it's kind of dark, then I might throw these up on a little tripod like this, and it gets tall enough for me to get some light into a room. Now here is a little camera that I recently got, and then I found out that to be able to use it, I need to have an actual pilot's license before I can use the footage from this camera in my videos. Luckily, I have a couple of friends who have done that, and if I can talk them into coming out on one of my little trips and flying this thing around for me, then I can use the footage perfectly legally. But check this thing out, it's so cool. Look at that. This has a pretty good something, what do you call it? Stability? I mean, the wind's blowing pretty good right now, and this thing is kind of fighting it, trying to figure out exactly where it has to be to keep the spot that it's recording, which it's not recording right now, but in the camera view. The gimbal on it's really cool. Look at that thing fight. And it is quick too. Here, let's go backwards. Whee. And that's in the cinematic mode. If I put it into its super fast sport mode, which I don't know if I really dare do that, but let's try that. This thing can get up to like 35 miles an hour. That is crazy. So I can use this on my video shoots if I have somebody who has a pilot's license to use it. Otherwise, I can just play with it around in the yard or wherever I'm at. And if I do record something, I just can't use it for commercial purposes, which means I can't put it on YouTube, because even if I demonetize the video, YouTube monetizes it, and the Federal Aviation people, they frown upon that. Unless any laws change for this drone, I won't be able to play with it that much. But other people can, and that's cool if I can get them to come out. No, don't fly angry. Watch this, let me get it to land in my hand. Look at that. Look how small this thing is. And see that gimbal on there? Oops. See that gimbal on there for the camera? So no matter what it's doing, it can still keep that steady shot. And that is awesome. That was the DJI Mavic Mini 2. And this thing is mini indeed. I don't need a pilot's license to just fly it. But if I'm going to fly in certain areas, or if I'm going to use it for commercial reasons, then I do. And that is because this thing is like 49 grams. It's like 1 gram under the limit for what you need a license to fly. And look how small this thing is, all folded up. Here's my phone. I mean, that is how small this thing is. Here is some video from when I got my desktop a few years ago, and it has 2 monitors on it, which is why I like to use it. So I can have one monitor with the editing program up and the other monitor with some folders up with footage and B-roll and audio and that kind of stuff in it, and I can just kind of move it around wherever I want it to be. Recently, I decided to get a new editing software, and I needed a faster computer to run it. And so I bought this MSI GE75 Raider, and it is pretty fast, which I need because the new software I got right here is Davinci Resolve. Let's go ahead and let you guys see that. And this is a free software. They have the beta version that's always up and available for people to try out, and it doesn't have too many limitations to it. There's a couple things maybe in the audio or the color editing that it has, but without getting the full-on program, it's free and it is good. I decided to upgrade to the paid version of it, which is a one-time payment, and then all the software updates, all the different versions, it goes from there all the way until I guess I die or something. It will automatically just kind of let me keep uploading or downloading the new version, and always keep me up to date, and I don't have to pay any more, and that is awesome. But the reason why I got that is because of this speed editor here, and this speed editor was the exact same price as the program, and I can't remember how much it was. It was like 150, 250, something like that for, I want to say it was 150 for the software, or for this. And when you bought this, then you got the code for free. So I bought this because this allows me to do something that my old software couldn't do, and that is run a multicam and use this to edit it. So here we can see that I'm just kind of rolling through the footage, and this here is the screen that it will be on the edit on the end, at the end. And these are the 3 cameras that I have that auto sync the audio from my microphone that I had on Paul, and all 3 of these different cameras that I had running at the same time. And so they're all synced up, and then whenever I want to, I can just click on a new screen. Let's say I want that shot instead because he turned away, and so I can click on this one and I can have that view of him in there. But this is that camera that I told you I didn't really like so much, and it's just a little bit more blurry. Or maybe it's this one. No, this one looks like it might be it. Let's go to another edit here and we'll see. Okay, so there's a good camera angle. That's a good camera and it looks nice and clean. And there's, I think, the bad one. And there's another clean angle. But this one and this one are kind of the same angle, so I didn't want to kind of use that one too much. Let's scroll through this. So you can see how it's hopping along all the different clips and it switches each time. And that right there alone, see, like here when I get, it's just kind of like nothing going on there. Oh, right here. So this one here just kind of pans away. So I can just click onto this one and then click onto that one, choose out of those two, whichever shot I like better. And before, I had to just let this one camera angle run all the way through and then come back and run this one, kind of like run this one until I get to a spot like that, and then I would say, okay, well, this is a better shot, and then I would go in and cut that one in, and now I can just do it all at the exact same time and cut out all the pictures of me that you see in there. And now I got that camera angled somewhere else, so now I can choose it if I want to, which I'm probably going to do in a second because I'm about to move these other cameras. So there's a shot of that one now that got moved. So this is now how I do my editing, and I can just spin this thing around and cut and paste, and it's pretty awesome. So that is the program that I'm currently using now. This one was already done, so we won't save that. The old program that I used was Cyberlink. Nope, that's screen recorder. Cancel. Let's go down here to wherever it's at. There it is. Cyberlink Power Director 15, and I bought back when I needed to buy a new computer to run this program before. And this one, let's see if I can open a project that we have in here. So this is the one that I used to use before, and you can see down here I have one camera angle. So if I wanted to put another one in, I could, but then I'd have to hop in between each one to see where it was that I wanted to edit at. This is one that I'm doing right now. I'm taking this whole video. This is like a 3.5 hour video that we did at Paul's house back. I want to say this is from 2016, maybe 17. And I'm looking for questions in here that people ask a lot. Like, he's about to get asked if he saves his seeds. And so I can cut here and then go to the end of that question that she's going to ask here in a second about if you save your seeds, and go all the way to where he's actually showing that he, right here, plants the seeds and stuff. And then cut that and make that into a frequently asked questions video that is going to be coming out soon, because I get a lot of questions about, does Paul save his seeds? Does Paul this? Does Paul that? And instead of going, it's somewhere in one of the tour videos from 2017, I can just take this shot and put it into a separate video. So this was my old program. They now have a 365 degree or day version where you pay monthly or yearly and you get the most up-to-date version that they have. I still am just going to keep this version for maybe some B-roll shots and stuff that I need to do real quick, and then use my Davinci Resolve to do most of my editing. And this thing is so good, I can't even come close to figuring out all the stuff that this program can do. I mean, really. There's lighting stuff, there's effects that you can do. You can take a person out of a shot and put them somewhere else in the universe if you want to, which is pretty awesome. So there is all of the cameras and microphones and computers and programs that I use to make the videos that I make. Hope this was helpful to you in some way to decide if you wanted to use any of this stuff or not. If anything, I suggest getting the Davinci Resolve. It is free and it is a crazy good program. Well, that's all I have for this video. Bang around that bell icon if you want to be notified when new videos come out. Call us on the hotline if you have comments or questions and want to be featured in an upcoming video. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe. Check us out on the website, and we'll see you guys on the next one.